I made it to the end of another very exhausting and emotional day. And before I sat down to film this video, I really didn't know what I was gonna say or talk about. It's 11:20 at night. It is Sunday, December 14th, and it was a snow day today. I was up until like 4 or 5 in the morning, and then I slept until noon. You guys, so I was laying on my couch watching YouTube, and I hear something behind me, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's a cat in my guinea pig cage. You a guinea pig? I know you think you're a guinea pig, but you're not a guinea pig. Hey. Ugh. Do you... Are these... You're not a guinea pig. Get out of there. What do you think you're doing? Huh? Are you a guinea pig now? Watching the final show of the Eras Tour on Disney Plus, and my cat is here. I've just come to terms with that I'm behind on what I wanted to be doing, but that doesn't mean that I am behind. I keep telling myself that even the most successful creators and people in all areas are behind sometimes and miss the deadlines they set for themselves, and things happen in their lives too. So I'm working on getting to where I need to be. It's not like I'm just giving up and not trying. I'm still making a difference so that when, fingers crossed, the crashing and everything stops, I can fly through and catch up and start filming other videos and content that I want to make, and start being more creative in other ways as well. My college final was supposed to be tomorrow, but because of the weather, my class got canceled, so now it's on Wednesday. So I had caffeine like an hour ago and just had SpongeBob mac and cheese by myself, because now I don't have to be up in the morning, and I felt super lazy and unproductive during the day, even though I am content with what I accomplished today, not just in my physical realm, but emotional realizations and things I worked on mentally, and people. I worked on decluttering my digital space and friends lists and photos, and have really just been thinking about what I want for my future and what it's gonna take for me to get there. And I know that I can do it no matter what, because I am so overly ambitious, and when I set my mind to something, there is no stopping me. And there's so much I want to do. I want to do everything. I'm so creative, but I've also been experiencing a lot of pain recently in my hands and my arm acting up. For those of you who don't know, I learned in April of this year that I was born with the bones in my neck misaligned. There's no curvature to my neck like you're supposed to have. The bones in my neck are literally straight as an arrow. And I've been in pain my whole life and never really been taken seriously, and had to tough it out for a long time. And that's like part of why I think got into drinking in the first place, back when I did drink. But I have pain that just goes from my neck to my hands, and a lot these past few days it's hurt me to it hurts me to do simple things like holding a pen, pencil, typing, sometimes my phone, when I'm like cooking and having to stir the pot or eat food and have a fork or a spoon in my hands. Like, it hurts my hand to do what I have to do, and even if I switch, then it starts to hurt that hand. So I can't do any of what I really want to do unless I can heal myself and take care of myself and see what I can do to make my life easier, and because I am so passionate, I know I'm gonna get there. I didn't really have a plan when I sat down to film this video. I feel like every night when I have to sit down and film, I always don't really want to do it. I don't feel like doing it because it's like it's something I have to do. It's effort, it's thought in my brain. Like I overthink, and I've still done it every day for the past 15 days. And even though it's small scale, it has done a lot for me. And I was watching this YouTube video before I sat down to film this, and she was talking about how no one is gonna go and open the door for you. You have to make your own door and open it yourself. And so I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do to make my door? What is my door gonna look like? Now that I say that, she was an artist. She like painted this girl particularly, so she was talking about like painting your door. So now I'm like, what if I just paint my front door? I haven't painted anything in a long time, and I have paintings that I did paint years ago, and I do enjoy painting and drawing, and that's something I want to start getting into again. And I love in the movie Tangled how her whole tower is painted, every little thing, and I've always wanted to just paint stuff and bedazzle and be creative with my things. And so now I'm thinking about painting my front door and just being like, hey Dad, can I paint the front door to my apartment and make it like the essence of me in a door? That sounds so much fun. These are a few paintings from back in the day. Getting a little sentimental looking at these past paintings. I wish I wrote down when I did these, but this is one of my favorites. This I painted when I was in 10th grade. These were maybe a couple years younger than that, like 8th or 9th grade paintings. So there's the happy girl and the sad girl. Painted this. Elephants are my favorite animal, so I painted this one. I have some other paintings of mine that are throughout the rest of my apartment. And then this one, I believe I was in like middle school, 8th or 9th grade time when I painted this. And it's bringing me back a lot of emotions on like how I was feeling mentally at the time. There's like hair stuck to this. Which is gonna bother me. But I wrote on it, evolution is suicide. And that's not something I would go around saying today, because obviously evolution is the key to growth and changing and everything. But in a way, evolution, when you evolve, it is the suicide of who you once were. And becoming anew. Honestly, I'm just like, I'm a little bit of a loss for words right now. But I'm proud that I'm able to look back and see how far I've come, and that, you know, at the time when I painted this, I was very depressed and suicidal, and this was my first tattoo that I got when I was 18, because of when I attempted when I was a teenager. So when I was younger, and I had all these hung up in my room, and I ended up taking them down because I felt like they weren't good enough. I knew other people that were better artists than me, and I felt teased and bullied in a way. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm just not an artist. But I also, when I was in middle school, I had a nail art account on Instagram. I don't think it exists anymore, but I used to paint my nails all the time. Which I do want to start doing again. And looking back at these, I'm definitely inspired to be creative again. But again, in doing so, I need to take care of my physical health and body first, so I can sustain being creative and putting back out into the world. I posted on Instagram today for the first time in a while, like 6 weeks. My last post was my 1 year sober post, so I posted and in the caption I said 405 days sober and truly never better. In April, I learned that I was born with the bones in my neck misaligned after not being able to move my neck or right arm and hand for nearly 2 months. It finally made sense why I lived with pain my entire life. Pain that had never been taken seriously because I was young, because I was a kid, because I learned early on to push through instead of being heard. Then, in October, injuring my foot as badly as I did, paired with being sick and running a high fever for an entire week, was ironically one of the best things that could have happened to me. I truly felt like I was on my deathbed, and it forced me to slow down in a way I never would have chosen on my own. It made me pause, it made me reassess, it made me take an honest look at how I've been living, and in that stillness, I reconnected with parts of myself I had been neglecting for years. The parts that value depth, meaning, and presence over noise, urgency, and constant motion. Because of that, I can honestly say I've never felt more like myself. I'm finding joy in things that actually matter, things that feel grounding, things that feel aligned with my life, and things that feel aligned with the life I'm intentionally building. Not just the one I thought I was supposed to chase. As I finish up this semester of college, I'm incredibly proud of myself, not for perfection, but for returning. 6 years ago, I did one semester and walked away. At the time, drinking, superficial relationships, and chasing income streams took priority over my education and living a life that felt true. Mostly because I didn't think I'd make it this far, and honestly, I didn't care if I did. I wouldn't change a single thing about that path. Every detour, every lesson, every hard season led me here with clarity, intention, and a real passion to build my own empire on my own terms. Next semester, I'll be fully online and full-time, continuing to work towards something that once felt impossible, toward telling toddler me that she actually did it, that she became the brain doctor she said she would, that she built a life that's meaningful, that she changed the world for better. And it took me like 30 minutes to write that out. And I was also crying when I was writing it. I got my period today too, so I was like, that makes sense why I've been crying over every single little tiny thing recently. But I am really excited. I have such a positive outlook on life right now, and my Instagram is always linked down below, as well as my Snapchat for more behind the scenes and real-time updates on stuff. I plan to be more consistent on here, Instagram, and Snapchat moving forward. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys again here soon.